Hi everyone. Sorry. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Rocksteady, and I'm at Minster Abbey, which is very, very old. I'm going to put in the description box anything that I can find on it historically, because I'm not exactly much of an historian. Obviously it's got a visitor centre, but that, or hall for hire, etc., but that's not open. Even if it was, it's coronavirus, so it's not open. But this is a ridiculously old part of the island. The Vikings actually sacked this church, this abbey, so it's got a big gatehouse, sun's shining upon it, so it's not easy to see, but it's steeped in history, this place, and very, very pretty and very old and spooky at the same time. There are lots of on the oldest parts, lots of original gargoyles, but it's kind of maintained. As you can see, there's a little bit, well, not massively, but I think there's someone in there digging, so there's somebody having a little bit of an attempt at gardening, talking to themselves or talking to someone else, but it is actually used. But this is a Gatehouse Museum, which is open to the public. Might have a little look at that. The gates are open, so we can go in. But this is a car park. And I did a couple of plays at school about this abbey. I'm going to go past the people that are talking and resume when I get round the other side. So actually it isn't open, they've just told me they're just working on the gardens, but there's a little poppy display up there. We've got a cannon, but this is the actual abbey, and there is an inscription up there, erected to commemorate the coronation of King Edward the 7th, August 1902. So that's just this little gable entrance. But there is a new part, which I suspect is this bit here. When I say new, it's not that new, you know, Henry VIII kind of new. And then there's a very old part at the back. I remember that much from doing a play at school about it. But I'm sorry if I'm a bit muffled, I'm wearing a mask. I have to, just in case I come into contact with people like I just did. It's all closed, I'm afraid, so I won't be able to go on the inside. Couldn't go into the Gatehouse Museum either, because it was only open while they were working on the garden. But we've got a little, don't know who this is, Nathaniel Webb. Can't really read it. 1720, 1731. Wow. So let's have a look. There's not very much in the way. You know, normally speaking, when you get a historical building, it will have a little bit of an area with a write-up. Now I'm going to try and walk back to give you the best view. This is the actual main entrance. There's someone walking a dog over there. Walking backwards along a very uneven cobbled surface. So I'm going to try my best not to fall over. I'm going to hold on to the wall. In actual fact, I'm almost there where I can get it all in. Fabulous. There we go. So it's very pretty. I'm almost approaching the road. This church was converted to Garden of Remembrance, and the memorial gates were dedicated to the Lord Archbishop of Canterbury on November the 18th in the year, sorry about that, 1951. So I was hoping for a plaque that was a little bit more substantial, but no, it's probably in that museum. I think these gates that they're talking about here, they have the First World War dates etched to them, and the Second World War dates on this one. And I'm going to get away from the noisy road and the people looking at me out the window of the pub, which Gary and I have drunk in a few times, I have to say, but I'm not sure how much I can actually show you today. So it's a shame that the visitor centre and museum is closed, because there's probably all of the history in there. But I know that back in many years ago, a couple of years, I don't know how many, the Vikings did invade, and they put their abbess here. Her name was Sexburgha. Really, not kidding. So yeah, here we can see. So they've got the old abbey next to the newer abbey. It's a bit hard to tell which is which, but I think I don't know actually. I remember seeing the door, where the door is, some really old gargoyles. It is possible that it's around the corner, or maybe they've been removed for you know, because they're historic perhaps. I'll go along this path here, go to the other side, which I suspect leads to the other side of that hall. So some of these paths that I'm walking on are gravestones. Lovely. How to reuse it. That's recycling at yep, recycling. How about that? That is crazy. But it does have on the door opening times. So yeah, it's still open. But you can just about make out this really old archways and brickwork. But the thing is, the gargoyles are gone. There was a doorway there. When I came before, obviously guttering pipes are new. When I came with the school years ago, we did a play. I played a nun. Don't laugh. When I came with the school, the gargoyles were still there. And there were these little, tiny little doors and entrances that adults these days wouldn't get through, to really have to stoop. But you can see things have been removed, because there's just, and it looks as if it's had a bit of a coating of some sort of like wearing away. But there's if I hold on to this, you can see just there was a structure or the outline of something there. I'm going to have to rely on a bit of Googling to see if I can fill in the blanks. But well, it's a shame, because there were lots of old gargoyles and they're really spooky. And you can see those beams. There's a up there. I don't want my camera to fall out. If you can see it, there's another part of it up the top. It's a shame, because it was very spooky when I came here the first time, and there was these very ugly gargoyles just looking down from the church. It seems to have probably been taken away, because otherwise they just could be stolen. But yeah, that's the main entrance that I remember. But I also remember a small one with a small door, and above all of these were pagan gargoyles, and above this window looking down there were lots of them. In fact, back then I did have a camera and I took pictures. I still have them though, unfortunately, but they've all gone. It's a shame. I imagine it's because if you can look at the bricks, you can see all of the exposed joints. I should imagine they were quite unsafe and fell off, or they've taken them off rather than have them fall off. But there's the gatehouse from this angle. Again, modern things attached to it now, like CCTV. No gargoyles, which is a shame. It's very unfortunate that it's not the same as it used to be. Okay, I have a very strange little beam of light. It's not a ghost, I assure you. If you can see it, it might not come out, but it just might. How about that? This is obviously a modern building. That's the hall. So unfortunately, not a great deal now to show you of the original. There's that little building at the top. with its simple little cross. Well, maybe after all this virus is said and done, perhaps I'll be able to take you on the inside. But this is all very original wall, and I guess I had a closer look at the gatehouse now that people have gone. View of the car. The sun's a bit relentless, I know. There were these tiny archways and doors, possibly the one that's bricked up. You know, and just, I don't know. It is odd. But obviously this is a museum now, this gatehouse. And, well, spooky though. This is old, this part. We'll find out. I'll put some information in the description box, as much as I possibly can. But it is such a shame there are no gargoyles to show you, because it was very ornate. I have to say though, they were wearing away even back then. So I don't think they've worn away. They haven't been taken down. So let's have a little look, see what we can see in here. I don't think we see anything. That's obviously an old pew. Oh, looks like some way of holding on to people there. Wondering if they've got any. No, must all be on the inside of that door, which I'm not allowed into. A gatehouse renovation, which happened in 1979 to 1982. Renovated by the Kent Youth Club work project. That's nice. But yeah, you can see how old this brickwork is. Well, it is just a shame that I can't show you the fantastic gargoyles that used to be here. But thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see any more of the history, I will endeavour to put what I can find in the description box. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Here it is again. Bye for now.